Hello, kindergarten friends. Welcome to week 2, lesson 2. Mama Echo is here with us today as well as baby Echo. And I have to apologize that on yesterday's video when I was doing my skywrite letters, they were backwards. I don't know what happened. Everything else flipped except me doing those, so I'm going to try those again today. We are going to review our 3 skyline letters as well as our 2 new plain letters today. So I have baby Echo ready to help me out. And here we go. Our first friend, Benny Bear. Remember, all uppercase letters are skyline letters. Our lowercase b is a skyline letter. Start at the skyline, down to the grass line, trace up, and circle around. So we have B, bear, b, B, bear, b, B, bear, b, B, bear, b. Our next alpha friend is Fifi Fish, another skyline letter. Remember, we hook up to the skyline, down to the grass line, and we cross over at the plain line. F, fish, F, fish, F, fish, F, fish. Our next skyline letter friend is Tiggy Tiger. Again, uppercase, remember, always is a skyline letter. Lowercase, start at the skyline, straight down to the grass line, and cross over at the plain line. T, tiger, t, T, tiger, t, T, tiger, t, T, tiger, t. Our new letter this week is letter M for Mimi Mouse. And remember, my uppercase letter is a skyline letter, but my lowercase letter is a plain line letter. It just goes to the dotted line. We don't want it above the dotted line or it'll float away. So for my lowercase m, we start at the plain line, straight down to the grass line, trace up, hump over down to the grass line, trace back up, hump over down to the grass line. M, mouse, M, mouse, M, mouse, M, mouse, And our last letter that we're going to do today is N for Nile Noodle. Our uppercase N, remember, skyline letter. Lowercase n, we start at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace up, and we have our camel's hump that comes over and down to the grass line. N, noodle, N, noodle, N, noodle, N, noodle, Remember, even though M and N are very similar, our mouths do something completely different. For M, my lips go together like when something tastes good. For N, my tongue pushes up to the top of my mouth and my lips stay open. All right, Mrs. Robbins is going to try to do our skywriting today. Let's make sure I can do it the right way so it shows up for you. We're going to start with our letter B for Benny Bear. Remember, we start way up at the skyline, down to the grass line, trace back up, and circle around down to the grass line. Benny Bear sticks his belly out. Our letter F, remember, we hook up to the skyline, down to the grass line, cross over at the plain line. Our letter T, we start at the skyline, down to the grass line, cross over at the plain line. Our letter M, baby Echo's going to stay right in the middle. He's not going to reach up to the sky. We're going to start at the plain line, down to the grass line, trace back up. Remember, hump over once like that camel, down to the grass line, trace back up, hump over twice, down to the grass line. And our letter N, very similar to M, but remember, only one hump this time. So start in the middle at the plain line, straight down to the grass line, trace up, and hump over down to the grass line. If we look on our writing paper for today, we're going to practice. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to put the skyline letters all at the top line. So letter B, remember, start at the skyline, down to the grass line, trace back up, circle around, and close on the grass line. Letter F, remember we hook up to the skyline, down to the grass line, cross over at the plane line. And letter T, we start up at the skyline, down to the grass line, and we cross over at the plane line. Okay, now you can do a row of M and N's, our two new letters. And remember, these are plane line letters. So we start at the plane line, have my starting dot, straight down to the grass line, trace up, hump over and down, trace up, hump over and down. Notice how Mrs. Robbins did not go above the plane line. I don't want my letters to float away. Let's try another M. Start at the plane line, down to the grass line, trace back up, hump over, down to the grass line, trace back up to the plane line, and hump over to the grass line. We're going to do the same thing with our letter N. We're going to put our starting dot at the plane line, straight down to the grass line, trace up, hump over, and down to the grass line. One more time, start at the plane line, straight down to the grass line, trace back up, hump over, and down to the grass line. Okay, I'd like you to practice those letters today so that you are used to when you go all the way up to the skyline or when you start at the plane line. Today we have the letter M chant. So Mrs. Robbins is going to hold this there. Remember, you can pause the video and you can try to look for all the letter M words. We have our uppercase M and our lowercase m. Many mazes are found in the mind. Mighty mice sneak up from behind. Magic magpies fly as though merry, carrying a message meant for Miss Carrie. Mud pies, metal men, and mystery snow. Mothers mixing up words we should know. Now chase the mice back into the maze, or the mice will get messy in so many ways. Now read this rhyme both fast and slow, and find all the M words as you go. Kind of a silly chant today. There's your chant if you would like to go through and you can find your M words. You might even be able to find some B and some F and some T words as well as a couple N words. But on this one, we're focusing on our M words. Okay, boys and girls, that's all we have for today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a great day learning.